Samuel? Are you there? Please, say something. You been? I've been looking for you. You promised you wouldn't just disappear anymore. I've been looking all over for you. Ow! What's wrong with you? I don't know who you are. I don't know my own husband. You disappear every night. You only talk when it's absolutely necessary. Where is the man that I married, Samuel? I want my husband back!
What have I done? What the hell have I done? Oh no! I didn't want this! No! No! No!
Get on with it! Stick the damn fuse back in! I want to open the store!
Well, at least it'll give me a bit of light until I get the power turned back on. It's not providing light, and that's not going to change until I have the power turned back on. An old dust-encrusted fuse box. There are a lot of wires coming out of the top of it, which then run along the floor joists. Doesn't look exactly safe. Okay, then. Just like everything else of Fuller's, pretty well junk. The blown fuse must be under here. Huh, Fuller's already had a go at it, but again, he couldn't sort it out. The 3 other fuses look fine, but this one's had it. I should throw that away, otherwise I'll get mixed up. Now all I have to do is put a good fuse in. I think I can swap a fuse over without needing instructions. That rickety pallet is blocking my view of the lower shelves. I can't see what's behind there. Photo developer. Looks like it's been there for a while, but the bottle's still sealed, so it could still be good. Fuller will hardly miss it, and even if, I can live with it. A battered paint can with about half a centimeter of dust on the lid. Dr. Rainbow's Finest Pearly White 85. I don't think I can recall having seen one pearly white thing in this whole building. Let's see. A few plastic containers, bottles and boxes, light bulbs, cables, grease. And a small carton of fuses.
The fuse! The fuse, man! Open your eyes!
Hopefully the fuses work. You never know in this place. There's just one fuse left in the box. But at least it looks unused. I reckon it still ought to work. The replacement fuse still looks okay. I ought to try it out. Well, that's that. Now all we need is some power. Okay, so let's have a look. Let there be light. Don't need this anymore. I'll leave it here in case the power drops out again. And that can only be a matter of time looking at the fuse box. A timeless, plain and simple 80-watt bulb on a cable. A classic. I'm not gonna touch that thing again if I don't have to. I don't want to push my luck. Some photo of a beach and an ocean. There are millions of pictures like this. They all look the same somehow. If I want to look at awful pictures, then I can do it upstairs in the store. There's not as much dust on the floorboards here. They're almost shiny, in fact. So does Fuller stand here every night with a beer looking at these awful pictures? These boards don't run parallel to the wall. They're turned 90 degrees. They make a rectangle roughly 80 by 60 centimeters. Strange. The boards aren't fixed at all. They move easily and sank a little bit into the floor as I stepped on them. An old clothes dummy. Oh, judging by the smell, it's been damp at some point, and now it's just moldering away. I wouldn't accept it as a present, even if it didn't stink. A light shaft with a grill leads up to the backyard. The hinges on the basement grill are rusted. No idea if you could open it, and even if you could, it'd squeak like hell. I don't want to open the grill. Why should I? A water faucet. If Fuller had a garden he wanted to water, he could do it from here. But in Fuller's garden, you'd get pretty well nothing to grow. An ancient rusted bucket with a little bit of water in it. With that water in the bucket, it's only a matter of time until it's completely rusted through. I certainly don't need a bucket, nor a load of rusty water. An old garden hose, with more holes than a golf course. I can't do anything with that. A beer crate with 24 bottles. All empty. And the bottles aren't dusty either. Beer doesn't keep long around here. Cheap beer. That's about right for Fuller. I just wonder why he has the crate in the basement. I can't see him coming down here every time he wants to drink a beer upstairs. So let's go up. A wonderful working day awaits, full of appreciation and deep personal fulfillment. Ugh.
Finally! You make a big deal about going to college, but you're too sappy to replace a fuse. Put that board outside in front of the store. Get on with it!
Fuller. What can you say? A good reason to have doubts about humanity? I've only been working here a few days, and I've already given up hope that he might, just once, behave like a normal human being. This is probably the most stressful holiday job that I've ever had. Holiday job in a photo studio? Yeah, sure. Great stuff. Learn new things, earn some money. And the reality looks a little different. Fatter and more bald. Know what I'm saying? Excuse me.
What do you want?
I've swapped out the fuse.
Yeah? And now? Do you want a medal? I told you to take the damn sign outside.
The store's not doing too well, is it?
What's that got to do with you?
Nothing. Nothing at all. It's no doubt because of the vast competition here in Biddeford that nothing's going on here. I mean, what else could it be?
This is the only photo studio here.
That's what I thought. No wonder Fuller needs some distraction. You don't even get 5 customers a day in here. Yesterday, when I was tidying up the sales room, there were all these stupid afternoon talk shows on. It almost made me go crazy. On my first day, my friendly boss made it very clear to me that he kept an exact account of the amount of money in the till. A little hint that I shouldn't consider ripping them off. I'm not interested in the cash till. That's a light box for looking at slides and negatives. These photo mounts are made of a kind of pressed card. You can stick photos into them to make them easier to hang. The drawback is that they can get easily dusty. I don't need any of that. It's rare that I even hang any of my pictures. That's Fulla's camera. It's quite a good one. Huh. If good technology would make up for missing talent, then even a complete idiot like Fulla could shoot good pictures with it. That's Fulla's camera. You know, that idiot's kit really isn't too bad. And pretty expensive. The lights look brand new. He's definitely not had them for long. Perhaps the store used to do better before, and he had some savings. Or maybe he bought the new lights on credit. The store couldn't have paid for them, that's for sure. The picture frames could do with being a little more professionally presented. But to be honest, they don't really deserve it. The postcards all show scenes from New England. They're the regular cards you see everywhere around here. Who should I send the card to? My fellow white bread students who I hardly know? Or my mom, who lives a couple of houses away? Many of the things here are overpriced, but that's obvious. There's only one photo store in town. He takes advantage of that. Simple reflex cameras for private use. Nothing special.
I told you! I want you to put out that damn sign!
I'll concentrate on my job first, before Fulla completely loses it. The store isn't doing very well. I don't think a cheap sign is gonna change that. But, what the hell?
Someone's really turned your head.
Huh?
You've put it the wrong way around.
Yeah.
I'd like to get some portraits done. Some pretty black and white pictures. Have I come to the right place?
Oh, yeah. You're at just the right place. Black and white photography is my specialty.
Wonderful. So let's get started. My name's Angelina, by the way.
Oh, well, I'm Darren. Let's go inside.
Welcome to Fuller's photography store. What can I do for you?
I wanted to get some portraits done.
Ooh. Very good. We can start right away, dear lady.
But I thought Darren would...
What? But he's just an errand boy. A pretty child like you deserves a real photographer. Here, go and pick up the post and take this letter to Mrs. Biba in the diner in the main square. I've got things to do.
Son of a... I can't go in there until I've done all of Fuller's jobs for him. He'd lay into me right in front of Angelina. And I'd like to avoid that if possible. But she seemed to see through him pretty fast. She can see what an asshole he is. Most of the pictures here in the window weren't taken by Fuller. In some moment of blinding inspiration, he must have decided to get some proper photographers to promote his business. Of course, they have no idea just how lucky they've been. Portraits, group pictures, wedding photography, and landscapes. And all of them totally unimaginative. Just as things should be. New England Photo Service. I reckon a person has to be pretty damn desperate to have their pictures taken at Fuller's place. But he's the only photographer in town. And there are plenty of tourists here. Presumably he does most of his business with them. I can't explain it any other way, just how he keeps his head above water. I can only ask myself just who he conned into making him the elk design. Or then again, maybe he didn't have the picture made. He probably just stole it. Fuller lives with his mother over the store. I haven't met the old hag yet, but going from her son and that filthy mutt that she seems to love more than anything, I don't think I'm missing too much. A hydrant, just like any other one. I don't see anything special about it. If this place ever burns down, I'll be the guy holding the match. I think that's Fuller's car. I'm not one of those people who knows about such things and goes into fits of ecstasy when they see a classic. Who knows? Is that thing a classic anyway? I don't know exactly how old Fuller is, but him and the car must have been made around the same time. I really can't say anything clever about it. It's a car. An old car. I've only been here a few days. Exactly the same length of time that traffic lights have been on pause. There's so little traffic here that nobody's bothered that the lights don't work properly. It could also be that no one's actually noticed. To describe Biddeford as quiet would be an understatement. It sometimes seems to me that the place has just about died. An unbelievable mess of old guns and swords, uniforms, ships, bells, radios. As long as it's old, it's sold here. A life belt. Years ago, there were pirates around here who used to lure ships under the rocks. They used to light false beacons, and once the ships had run aground on the rocks, they'd row out and rescue the cargo. Pretty senseless driving around Maine in a convertible. But I reckon that's not what it's really about. It was expensive, and that's what counts. Pretty senseless driving. Looks like you can only buy tourist rip-off stuff in here. But the mail for the whole neighborhood gets dropped here too. The windows look like they're polished twice a day. Apart from that, nothing much else to notice. A flat metal bar. It's broken away from the railings. It's pretty heavy. Back there is where the harbor ends and the natural shoreline begins. Just miles and miles dotted with lone houses. Often guest houses and hotels with views over the ocean. Back there is where the harbor ends. There's barely a single wave today. No wonder. Beautiful weather, not much wind. Biddeford isn't really a port, but there are plenty of boats here. Mostly sailboats. People sail out to go fishing or whatever. I'd rather keep solid ground under my feet. young woman. She looks sad. Everything okay?
No, it's not actually. Carrie died here 2 years ago. She was my best friend.
Oh, I'm sorry. How did it happen?
You're not from around here.
No, I'm from Boston. I'm spending the semester break at my mother's.
Yes. Well, Carrie committed suicide. No one knows why. Everyone loved her. She was intelligent and always happy. I think there's still a picture of her in old Fuller's display window. A young woman with dark hair and green eyes.
Yes, I know that picture. A really pretty woman.
She had so many plans. After studying, she wanted to open a kindergarten here in Bedford, with her husband Jason. I just don't understand it. From one day to the next, she changed completely. Became really reclusive. She was depressed and melancholic all the time. No one could reach her anymore. Not even Jason. Even though they loved each other more than anything. Then one day, she just threw herself into the sea.
And no one knows why?
No one. Jason has never gotten over it. He couldn't help her. A few months later, he married that brainless bimbo with a convertible. He probably just felt so lonely. It's definitely got nothing to do with love.
He must have been really lonely.
Excuse me. I'd rather be alone right now.
Of course. I'm sorry. I don't want to bother her anymore. I don't want to bother her. A small container of photo developer from Fuller's basement. It's full to the brim. A metal bar from the harbor promenade. In pretty good condition, except for the rust and the ding in the middle. A collection note for a package. There's a little shop down on the harbor which is a collection point for all the parcel mail around here. If I hand in the note there, I'll be able to pick up Fuller's delivery. A letter from Fuller. I'm supposed to give it to Mrs. Biber in the diner. She works behind the counter there. My SLR camera, fitted with a flash, too. I never leave home without it.
And then I said to him, Jason, I need a new car, urgently.
Oh, yeah. And then?
What can I say? It's parked right
A stand
outside.
displaying
You
a
can't be
million travel
serious.
guides.
Sure,
New
I'm being
England, Quebec,
serious. A
England and
convertible,
Wales,
totally
Holland,
cute.
the national parks of the
Girl,
USA,
you're just gonna have
Tuscany,
to show me later.
Hong Kong,
Oh, yes,
etc.,
there's
etc.
no way I'm not going to do that.
There are too many travel guides to just go leafing through them all.
And in this
While
weather.
I've got nothing specific
You
to look
lying.
for,
And what
I'll
did
leave
he
them
do?
there.
Well, he just left her sitting there.
Ha! Well, she didn't deserve anything
An
better.
old ship's wheel.
But that's not all.
It's supposed to
joking.
endow a
There's
certain
more?
maritime charm,
Yeah,
I
now
guess.
get this.
I reckon that the local tourist board is missing something of a hook for this place. I mean,
Fork Truck
what
Pete
is there
just
here
can't
that's a bit
afford
special?
that kind of thing.
Hey,
There must be
it's me,
dozens
okay?
of
And I'm
places like
telling
this
you,
one along the
she
coast.
saw him herself.
But surely
An
it
armchair.
doesn't look as cute
Doesn't
as
look
my
too
new
uncomfortable.
convertible.
Well,
But who'd want
hardly.
to sit down in this shop
Talking
with the
of
charming
which,
Rosie?
Weren't we going to go for a little
I
ride?
am definitely not gonna
Yeah,
sit in
I'm
that.
about to have my lunch break.
Ah, yeah.
Huh.
And what
Every
did your
possible
Jason say
kind
to
of
that?
form.
He doesn't
Garbage
know a
and large
thing
object
about it
collection,
yet.
telephone rerouting.
You go, girl.
Here's a form from
Now
the
don't you go
Make Our
telling
Town
anyone,
Prettier
okay?
committee.
Girl,
My
of
mom's
course
on
I
the board of
won't.
that one.
What are you thinking of?
It seems you should send in
You're a
suggestions for
darling,
improvements
Rosie.
around the town.
What was that story again with your
I'm
new
not
car?
interested in these forms for residents. I've got a few things going on which, like this town, could be a little
Where
more
is it
interesting.
then?
It's parked
But
right
I
outside
don't
the shop.
hold out much hope for
Ooh,
success.
then
with
we
it.
can go for a ride on my lunch break.
But isn't that still a way
Handbills
off?
for local events.
So what is going on with
Brand
Fork
New
Truck
Year
Pete and that
Bazaar.
sister, what's
It's
her
a
face?
go-go dance till
Not
you
the
drop.
sister. That's
Oh,
Matt's
man.
cousin, that's who.
I thought she
pass.
was...
And then I said to him, Jason, I need a new car.
Coffee mugs,
urgently.
little lighthouses,
Oh, yeah.
badges, mini
What
life
can I
belts
say?
with bit
It's
of
parked
stamped
right
on them.
outside.
Plastic
You can't
house
be
numbers,
serious.
porcelain
Sure,
lobsters,
I'm being serious.
plastic
A
lobsters,
convertible.
wooden
Totally
lobsters,
cute.
metal
Girl,
lobsters.
you're just gonna have to
What
show me
more
later.
could the tourist
Oh,
heart
yes,
yearn for?
there's no way I'm not going to
I
do
think
that.
I'd rather my hand fell off before I took any of those with me.
And in this weather.
You lying.
Those are
And
banners
what did
and
he
flags.
Well,
Some
he
very
just left her
stylish,
sitting there.
some completely not.
Well, she didn't deserve
I
anything
reckon
better.
the big ones must be for
But
yachts.
that's not all.
You
The
joke.
main state
There's
flag
more?
always looks
Yeah,
more like a
now
beer
get
company logo to
this.
me. At least they've got an elk and a tree in there. That's nice.
Fork Truck Pete
So what
just
have we
can't
got here?
afford that kind
New
of thing.
Hampshire,
Hey, it's me,
Canada,
okay? And I'm telling you,
something
she
or
saw
other
him
I don't
herself.
recognize.
But
New
surely
Brunswick
it doesn't
or
look as
Quebec,
cute
perhaps.
as my new
And
convertible.
of course, the obligatory
hardly.
stars and stripes
Talking
in
of
every
which,
imaginable
weren't we going to
shape
go
and
for a little
size.
ride?
Yeah,
No
I'm
thanks.
about to have my
I
lunch
don't have
break.
a boat.
Ah, yeah.
And if I did, I'd be sailing under the skull and crossbones. Or maybe a Popeye flag.
And
Something
what
a
did
little
your Jason
cooler
say to
than
that?
these.
He doesn't know a thing about it yet.
You go, girl.
Now don't you go telling anyone, okay?
Girl, of course I won't. What
There's
are you
a few
thinking of?
papers here.
You're a darling,
Some sort
Rosie.
of forms and
What was that story
pad
again
of
with your
blank
new
collection
car?
notes. I would imagine that the enchanting Rosie might possibly
is it
have some
then?
objection to
It's
my
parked right
palming a
outside the
blank
shop.
collection note.
Ooh, then we can go for a ride on my lunch break.
I would
But
imagine
isn't
that
that still a way off?
Excuse me?
Have you got something wrong with your ears?
No, I just wanted a package.
Something wrong with your eyes then?
Huh?
Listen, I'm talking here. Can't you see that?
Yeah, I can see you as clear as day, unfortunately. But I have to collect a package for Fuller at the photo store.
There'll be no line jumping in this store. You're online, okay? Now wait until I'm ready.
Ugh, the young kids today.
Always. I'm always having a fight with
Now, perhaps
Bad
Mrs.
parents,
Superficial
that's
is
what it
familiar
is.
with angles.
So tell me,
Or maybe she's a
what's
Nirvana
happening with
fan.
your new car again?
Really? What the
A
hell can I talk to her
convertible.
about?
So cute. In beautiful red and all the best upholstery and everything.
Oh, you earned it.
Oh, you. We'll take a little spin later.
Where is it then?
Hello? Might I get served here?
Of course. Just as soon as I'm through with this customer.
And that will be when? When she's lying on the floor with blood streaming out of her ears?
Well, really.
I'll serve the lady for as long as I see fit. We spell service with a capital S in this store.
Yeah, I can see that.
Ugh, the young kids today.
Always. I'm always having a fight with them.
Bad parents, that's what it is.
So tell me,
That car belongs to the world record talking lady from the shop. That could be useful. The convertible's alarm is going off, thanks to all the chat.
where is it then?
It's parked
Wow,
right outside
they're
the shop.
still yammering.
Ooh, then we
I
can
need
go for a
some
ride
idea
on
how
my
to get
lunch
that
break.
broad to leave.
But isn't that still a way off?
So what is going on with Fork Truck Pete and that sister? What?
I can only see into Fuller's office through the window. Sadly, I can't watch the photo shoot. I can only see into Fuller's office. That's the cage for Fuller's mother's dog. But the dog is usually in the house. At least, I've never seen it here in the cage. The water bowl is completely dry. Perhaps I can still use it. A completely rusted bucket with big holes in the bottom of it. The handle's busted off. I'm gonna leave the bucket there. There really isn't much more I can do with it. Either out front or in the back. Fuller's gonna go nuts if I haven't done his jobs for him. The window is open, presumably to let in some fresh air. Or maybe it just doesn't close properly. Who knows? The window's barred. The bars seem pretty strong and are bricked into the wall. The window's barred. A solid iron grill. It's across the light shaft that leads up from the basement. The grill is very heavy and rusted into the concrete. It's gonna take a lot of force to open it. Why should I do that to myself? If somebody told me the old fat pig dumped poisonous waste, then I'd completely believe it. I don't understand why Fuller doesn't just get this stuff picked up. What does he want to keep it for? A length of tow rope, a bit more than 2 meters long and in great condition. Ropes are always good. Fuller hung out the laundry yesterday, for him and his mother. I just found it somewhat surprising that a fat ass like him does the laundry for his mother. Alarming, even. The man is way past 40 and gets bossed around by his mother. An ancient, rickety tool shed. This is where Fuller keeps the junk that he doesn't just throw somewhere in the yard. So, not much. A reel of fishing line. There seems to be a little still on it. Only the line, I'm afraid. No hook.
And then I said to him, Jason, I
Blah,
need a new
blah,
car,
blah.
urgently.
Don't
Oh,
they have
yeah.
anything
And
better to
then?
do?
What can I
Okay.
say?
Dumb
It's
question.
parked right outside.
You can't be.
Jebediah Biddeford or something like that, I guess. Honestly, I've got no idea who that is. The city's founder, a mayor, a benefactor, what do I know? I find a lot of the buildings here in the center really big and swanky for such a small town. Especially the town hall. The city must have had money in the past. Perhaps on the back of successful whale hunting. Or maybe they did what we did in Boston in the 19th century. Made money out of selling ice. New England ice was shipped all over the world before we had refrigerators. What a flashy thing that is. Probably some tourist's cool ride. Europeans in particular confuse New England with California and think they should be driving around in convertibles or Mustangs. Most of the year, an open-top car is a bad idea around here. With that kind of weather, Biddeford should make the raincoat a national uniform. Burgers, fries, and drinks. What more could you need? The diner's run by Mr. and Mrs. Biber. It's not a bad joint. It's done up like a 1950s diner. Yeah, well, at least how we imagine the 50s were. A red, white, and blue string of lights. God bless America. A red, white, and... I haven't seen such an old bubblegum machine for years. Belongs to the diner. They do that whole nostalgia thing in there, too. No thanks. How nice. That's stinking garbage, and I have no particular interest in it. How nice. That...
Yeah, just down the street.
Thanks a lot.
Some people. A man in a white lab coat. In his 40s, I'd say. Could be a doctor. A man in a white lab. They got 2 or 3 people working in the kitchen. One of them's Mr. Biber. Mrs. Biber works out here on her own. Looks like she really works her butt off. There's everything you'd expect from a diner. From breakfast and lunch, to coffee and cake, right up to dinner. The specialty is, of course, lobster. Like everywhere around here. I have to admit, they are pretty tasty. That's Mrs. Biber, I think. As far as I can understand it, she runs this place with a husband. Excuse me.
What can I get you, my boy?
Actually, I'm here to give you something. It's from Fuller in the photo store.
Psst. Hey, come over here. I can guess what this is about. The dirty old swine. I should have known. Vermin ain't so easy to get rid of. Tell him
You better tell him yourself. Whatever it is, you...
Claire! You gonna talk all day? The customers are waiting!
Get out of here and tell your boss he can go to hell.
Jeez. What the hell was that all about then? Huh. She sure didn't seem to be a fan of Fuller's. I got that much. And the guy in the kitchen, he sure wasn't supposed to see that she had mail. They're supposed to represent something like portholes. In reality, they're glazed display cabinets. The rear panels of the display cabinets are painted blue. They both have underwater scenes with plastic fishes and lobsters on them. Kitschy. And that's about it. A big, ugly plastic lobster. Not particularly appetizing. The moose is the emblem of Maine. But the lobster's a close second. What would a 50s bar be without a jukebox? The world's just wonderful, and aren't we all so very happy type music? Just isn't my thing. If there was maybe a Pearl Jam track on it, then I'd give it a play. But Buddy Holly doesn't quite do it for me. Ketchup, mustard, mayo, salt, pepper, syrup, sugar. And a bottle of vinegar. There's not much left. I don't think anyone will miss it. I'll take some bread. Mrs. Bible won't mind. I'm not gonna feel any better if I stuff my pockets full of bread. I really don't know if this place makes any money. There's usually a few people whenever I come in. But is that enough? Surely you can't get by on just that.
Hello? Young man! You're Darren Michaels, aren't you?
Yes, and you are?
Oh, excuse me. My name is Newhouse. I'm a doctor at the health center.
At the health center? You mean at the hospital out there?
Well, yes. We call it the Biddeford Health Center. We aren't just a hospital. We have yoga courses and cookery courses and...
And what do you want from me?
Yes. I know your mother, Darren. We had a date here this morning, to be more precise. Me and her. We wanted to hang up some pictures your mother painted in the health center.
Yes, and...
She's not there. She's normally always... She's always punctual, isn't she? This kind of thing never happens.
Look, I don't have a lot of time right now. I'll give her a call, okay? As soon as I'm back in the store. Maybe she's forgotten about your little meeting, Doc.
If you say so, but actually...
I gotta go. I'll call Mom later and tell her that you're waiting for her in the health center. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
I'll press a little around here. Breadcrumbs, like in case I lose my way in the forest. A bottle of vinegar from the diner. There's only 2 fingers of the stuff left in it, and it's sticky on the outside. The label's already half off it. A reel with a few meters of fishing line on it, but no hook. A tow rope from out of Fuller's backyard. It looks like it would easily hold a ton of weight. The handle from a rusted bucket. Compared to the bucket, the handle still looks really sound. The dog bowl from Fuller's backyard. Nobody's gonna miss that. It used to belong to Fuller's mother's dog, but she spoils the little mutt half to death.
And in this weather.
Blah,
You
blah,
lying.
blah, a new
And what did he
car,
do?
blah, blah.
Well, he just left her sitting there.
Maybe I ought to just blow up this
Well,
stupid
she
bitch's
didn't deserve
car.
anything better.
But that's not all.
You joking. This
That car belongs to the world record talking lady from the shop. That could be useful.
Oh, my convertible!
Hello? Is it something like my turn now? Please, don't let me rush you.
What do you want?
I'm supposed to collect something for Fuller. From the photo studio?
Collection note? This is the one, right here. Have you still got another note? There's another package for Fuller here.
Afraid not. Can I take it anyway?
I might turn a blind eye for nice customers.
So you're not gonna give it to me then?
Hell no!
Hey, Rosie. Hard at work, I see.
What do you want?
You know the Bibas?
From the diner? Sure I do.
What can you tell me about them?
I don't gossip, but her marriage ain't exactly the best.
Really?
Yeah, she's apparently very nice, a little jaded and stressed out. Can't ever forget her work. But him, he's an asshole. Been boozing for 2 or 3 years and is a bit free with his fists.
Why doesn't she leave him then?
No idea. She's real dependent on him. The diner belongs to the both of them. And besides, where would she go? Nobody would take her.
There's a really pretty young lady I've seen walking around here. Do you know her?
You had a real good look at her, didn't you?
Do you know her?
Well, I wouldn't say no. She came in here and asked about a photo studio, so I sent her up to Fuller's. She interrupted a conversation I was having with a friend. Can you believe that?
Ha! No way. I don't believe it. What brings someone like her, or maybe even you, here to Biddeford?
Someone like me. You mean a fat woman in a state full of fitness freaks. You're one charming kind of guy, aren't you?
No. I meant, why would someone as unfriendly as you work in a town tourist shop of all places?
Well, you ain't exactly a picture of politeness yourself.
But I don't work in a tourist shop either.
Okay, look. I grew up in New Jersey. My father didn't think the neighborhood was good for me or my brothers and sisters. So he got himself a job in a paper mill and dragged us all up here. Satisfied with that?
And you just weren't able to get yourself a job in construction or driving a truck?
Look, you shouldn't go trying to take on someone like me. You're punching way above your weight, son.
Huh, I can't deny that. Hey, Rosie, did you know Carrie, Jason's first wife?
Of course I knew her. I know everyone in Biddeford. At the end of the day, this is the only post office.
And what was she like?
What's that got to do with you?
I just wanted to chat a little.
Well, we never spoke too much. She was always so quiet. No comparison with Juliet. At least with her, you can have a decent conversation. Jason's so lucky he got her now. That really wasn't a life for a guy like Jason. With someone like that dragging him down? Now, at least he's got a life.
Ah, so lucky.
Just between you and me, one shouldn't speak ill of the dead. But that Carrie, she was always a little strange.
Uh-huh. Is there maybe a package for me there, Darren Michaels?
Mm-hmm.
The lovely Rosie hasn't noticed, and I'm now the proud owner of a blank collection note.
Nope, nothing there.
I've got Fuller's package. I don't want to distract this broad for even a second.
He's sick. That disgusting pig.
What's going on?
Your lovely boss. Does he always try to grope his customers?
No, only the women.
That's not funny.
No, of course not. What can I say? Fuller's an asshole.
Well, he's never going to see me again.
Darren, would you bring the photos to the hotel?
Of course. My pleasure.
Thanks, Darren. That's really nice of you. I'm staying at the Wild Coast, room number 5.
No problem. You'll have them this afternoon.
Thanks, my hero. See you later.
Huh. That's the guy from the diner. Is he following Angelina?
Hey, you're gonna gawk her ass right off. Whatever the bitch said, it's all a dirty pack of lies.
Sure.
Back to work. Hey, you got the package?
Yep.
Well then, give it to me.
How'd the photo shoot go?
Ah, shut up.
I only mean the young lady who...
That alley cat's gone, okay? No little goodbye kissy for little Darren. So now, get to work. The shelves here could use with a dusting and the gutter's leaky. And you still gotta take my mama's dogs for a walk. Go back to the post office again and ask if the new photo paper's already arrived. The mailman still hasn't brought a collection note. And the store could also do with a good sweeping.
He's cranky. I guess Angelina did a number on his ego. Nice job. Okay then. But before I start with all that stuff, I'd better give Mom a quick call and remind her she was gonna take the pictures to the hospital. And somehow I've got to get a hold of the film so I can make some prints of Angelina's pictures without Fuller catching me doing it. Excuse me.
What do you want?
The package I picked up was jingling a bit. I hope there was nothing broken inside. What was in it?
It's of damn all concern to you.
Mrs. Biber was... Yeah, well, she didn't seem to be very pleased to get your letter.
So? Did you read the letter?
No, but she seemed to know what it was about.
I bet. It was a bill. Who's pleased at getting a bill?
Should I go and develop the pictures from the shoot earlier?
You should do what I tell you to do.
But I could do them now, and then you don't need to later.
You do your job, I'll look after the photos.
I have to get hold of the pictures somehow. They must still be in the camera. Excuse me.
What do you want?
Do you remember Carrie?
Which Carrie?
She was a customer of yours. Committed suicide almost 2 years ago. Dark hair, green eyes.
Why should I remember her? Do you think I remember every face that walks in this joint?
Yeah, well, there's a photo of her in the window.
So? What's it to you anyway? Do your work or I'll kick your ass.
Fuller's camera. The film with Angelina's photos on it is definitely still in it. But I haven't a clue how I'm gonna get the film out of it without Fuller noticing. I'll just have to try later. Those are Fuller's dirty shoes for outside. In here, he wears other dirty shoes. If there was a garden outside and not just a garbage dump, I'd have guessed that Fuller wore them to work in the garden. There's clay and earth on the soles. Nothing interesting to see. A cheapo, old-time cuckoo clock. A testament to Fuller's fine taste for stylish interior decoration. I think Fuller took his mother on a world tour a few years back. Might be a kind of souvenir. Nothing stands out. Perhaps this little angular hole on the clock face. Is that how you wind it up? Nothing stands out. Hey, there's a small opening. I could easily fit my finger in there. Let's see. It seems to be a mechanism to wind it up. Behind it is a little button. I can't wind the clock up, but I can push this button. I think I'll leave the cuckoo clock alone. Should I go through Fuller's garbage? Well, that would mean going through the whole house. I don't think so. A used-up, chewed-up ballpoint pen. He definitely doesn't need it anymore. And if he does, well, even better. A greasy map of the world. My World Tour is written next to it. A few places are marked. The USA around Utah, Arizona,
then over to Hawaii. Afterwards comes North Africa, possibly Egypt, then China, and then Europe. Looks like somewhere in Germany. A greasy map of the world. The USA around you. What have we got here? The US, Hawaii, something illegible, and Europe. Fuller's smeared half of it with his filthy paws. Nothing in the whole damn world would make me want to open this door. You've just got to have a look around here to get the impression of what it looks like in there. No. The fatso lives on coffee and burritos. That ought to make for an early death. Fuller ate a microwave burrito with, chili chocolate turkey filling yesterday. I didn't even know that kind of thing exists. But it does. A very old-fashioned safe. There's a logo on it. M.T. Schultz, Pittsburgh. Looks at least 100 years old. I find it hard to believe that Fuller hides anything of worth in there. He's more the paranoid type that wants to protect his telephone bill from prying eyes. It's locked. But I've seen how they open these things in those old classic gangster movies. Huh. Seems like she's on the phone.
What the hell are you doing using my phone? While you're on the clock? I'm gonna take it out of your...
Yeah, whatever. Look, I just wanted to call my mother, but it was busy. It's not gonna make you go bust.
That broad spends the whole day on the phone, right? She already called up once while I was shooting that sweetie. Some drivel about Adrian and a mirror. I hung up. I got better things to do than listen to that kind of crap.
My mother called, and you didn't tell me?
The old lady's not all there in the head anymore, huh? Where you going? You're not on your own time yet.
Mom? Mom! Mom! Her heart's beating. She's alive. Mom, can you hear me? Mom! Nothing. But she's still breathing. Okay, think, Darren. I need an ambulance. Emergency? Yes. My name is Darren Michaels. I've just found my mother. She's unconscious.
Take it to the hospital, but take it real easy. I'll be following in my car in a minute.
How does it look?
Difficult to say, Darren. She must have stumbled, and now she's got a serious head injury. Exactly how bad it is, we can only find that out in the hospital.
But how can she fall so badly that she...
It's not the time for that now. Was your mother taking any kind of medication?
I don't know. She always has a load of painkillers for her back. No idea.
Please, Collect anything that looks like medication and bring it back to me in the hospital. What about allergies?
Not that I know about.
That's not good enough. Could you find out the family doctor's number? Perhaps get a hold of her medical records.
Yeah, I'll go look. I'll see you in the hospital.
Very good. Oh, yeah. And we need your mother's insurance card.
That too? Okay, please, can you hurry? Oh man. Medication, insurance card, med history. I better hurry. No, I haven't got the number from Mom's old family doctor. I can't even remember his name, to be honest. Dr. Mick... something. If I read his name, then it'll come straight back to me. I think the furniture's still from her time in England. Quite old-fashioned, but stylish somehow. What do we got here? Handkerchiefs, a glasses case, an art magazine, a few Valerian draggies. Nothing I could use. Ah, my mother's address book. I ought to find her doctor's number in there. A bedside table lamp with a paper shade and a ceramic base. Cream-colored. Mom likes thrillers and horror stories. Mainly old stuff. Edgar Allan Poe and the like. Perhaps it has something to do with her time in England. She's often told me that she worked in a castle that could well have come straight out of one of these books. We've already just had a few days of warm, sunny weather back to back. It's supposed to get worse tomorrow. A plant on the windowsill. No idea what kind it is. Looks like there's something under the flower pot. It's a little brass key. It's a beautiful lamp. Pity it doesn't work. Perhaps the bulb's gone. My mother's old bureau. That's where she keeps her letters and financial papers and such. I don't fancy poking around in there just now. She always had her insurance card on her and didn't lock it away. It's gotta be somewhere else. Mom's bathroom. Like her old place, nothing special. We weren't poor, but my mother was always modest. And by the looks of it, so is this place. I had a shower here this morning, and Mom laid on a huge breakfast. I ate some of it, for her sake. Back at uni, I usually don't eat anything in the morning. Aha, some medicines. boxes, little bottles, tubes. I'll take it all with me. Even though that's quite a lot of drugs, I don't think it's everything. There must be more of her medication around here. Toothpaste, face cream, no other medication in here. I had a shower here. I ate some of it. An old lighthouse. Underneath's a sign with Willow Creek written on it. Perhaps it's from the place in England where she lived. She first came to the US in her early 30s, after the accident. My mother keeps her pots and pans and that kind of stuff in these cupboards. A few pots, a shallow bowl, plates, a tray. I'll take the bowl. Oh my god, there really is running water here. I never would have thought it. That's where Mom indulged herself. We had an ancient wood-burning stove at home that she used to cook on. She always said it reminded her of her time as a cook back in England. True, I've never been much of a cook, but it seems a bit dumb to turn on the stove when there's nothing sitting on it. Mom's handbag. All her papers must be in there. Alright, I found the insurance card. There's nothing else of interest in there, and I can earn my own money. It looks like Mom was having a cup of tea while reading, before she fell over. The cup is still half full. Why did she stand up and go over there? Maybe the phone rang? Maybe she got some bad news and fainted. That doesn't seem like her at all. That's Mom's medicine dispenser. There's a box for every day of the week. She always used to joke about it. She said that because of her back, she consumed more pills a day than a whole old folks' home. But she never took as much as she was actually prescribed. She always maintained that she'd just forgotten to. The old home doctor then gave her the dispenser at some point. I always found it rather stupid not to take your medicine, preferring to suffer in agony. Okay, this medication and the stuff from the bathroom should be enough. So, that's everything done. When I was a kid, we used to always argue about how long I was allowed to watch TV. I used to be able to sit in front of that thing for hours. Now you couldn't get wild horses to drag me in front of one. I can count myself lucky the damn thing didn't completely frazzle my brain. Mom's into music. That's one thing we have in common, though our tastes are a little diverse. Mom's Beethoven doesn't mix that well with Nirvana or Pearl Jam. Mom's into music. Mom watched whales with this telescope. This is a whale region. The whales swim past here twice a year on their route between Mexico and Canada.
A nice one. Quite classical. And it looks quite expensive for Mom's taste. You can swivel the telescope on the tripod, and hey, there's a compass attached to the top to show the direction you're looking. There are pictures of me and Mom in the cabinet. I can't see any pictures of my father here. Mom hasn't got many of him. I guess the memory of his death is too painful for her. When I was a child, I always wanted to know who my father was. Mom told me about him, and finally showed me some pictures. That was the only time I've ever seen pictures of him. A cheap ballpoint pen. Ugh, complete with teeth marks. Let's see. It won't open. It's got a leather strap running from the back to the front cover, and there's a lock on it too. I need a key. A small gold-colored key. Yes, and that's got the address book open. A large ceramic bowl from out of the kitchen. An old-fashioned kettle from my mother's kitchen. It's pretty heavy, even when it's empty. My mother's insurance card. The hospital wants it, because it's not enough just being sick. That has to be all my mom's medication. Using this weekly pill dispenser, the doctors can be sure of the dosage. Now then, what was that doctor called? Dr. Wakefield. That's him. And here's his number. I just hope he's still got my mother's old medical records. Hopefully the number's still okay. Dr. Wakefield, 555...
Dr. Wakefield's practice?
My name's Darren Michaels. I have to speak to the doctor. It's an emergency.
One moment, please.
Dr. Wakefield speaking.
Hello, Dr. Wakefield. This is Darren Michaels.
Darren, is there something wrong with your mother? Mandy said...
Yes, she's been taken to the hospital. She's fallen over and taken a knock to the head. She's not responsive.
My God.
The hospital needs her medical history. Do you still have it?
Yes, we must still have it here.
Can you fax it over to the hospital?
Yes, of course. Hopefully nothing's happened to her back.
Wouldn't the support corset protect her?
Not necessarily. The corset supports her spine when she's standing up or sitting, but her back has been so badly affected since the accident that a fall can have repercussions.
I don't think I want to know. I'll just go down to the hospital and find out there.
Do that. I'll have the records sent to Biddeford. I hope your mother gets well soon.
Yeah, me too.
Give her my best wishes as soon as she's awake.
I'll do that. See you later, Doc. Well, that's done. Dr. Wakefield has always cared well for Mom. With that back of hers, she could barely stand, sit, or lie down without causing her pain. And then she has the burns as well. And now this. I'll just get dressed and then go straight to the hospital. I hope she's all right. Hello, I'd like to see my mom, Rebecca Michaels.
One moment. Your mother is still being examined. Have you got the medication with you?
Yes, here. Oh, and I've also got the insurance stuff. When can I...
Ah, thank you. I will tell Dr. Newhouse. Please take a seat for a moment. I will let you know when you can go in and see your mother. Excuse me, Mr. Michaels?
Yes?
There is a problem with your mother's insurance card. It looks like she didn't make the last payment.
I don't know anything about that, and I really don't give a damn.
Obviously, it's a little unpleasant, but the insurance...
Look, I don't give a damn about the insurance. What's happening with my mom? How long is this thing gonna take?
I'm sure you'll be able to see her soon. But if we can't clear up this thing with the insurance, then we've got a problem here. You'll have to... Okay, Doctor. You can see your mother now. The room at the end, on the right. Mr. Michaels? I can't help it if your mother hasn't paid, or if the bank hasn't made the transfer, or if the medical insurance won't cover the treatment. Here, take the card with you and sort it out. In the end, your mother will be back on her feet, but she won't have a roof over her head anymore.
Thanks. How is she?
Not good, I'm afraid. The wounds to her head are quite severe. She must have fallen against the table with all her weight behind her.
Is she going to...
One should never give up hope. But your mother's in a coma, Darren. I'm sorry, but it's rather uncommon for someone to wake from a deep coma. Perhaps if she'd been discovered earlier, then there wouldn't have been so much bleeding in her skull.
You're saying that if I'd gone to her straight after our talk, then she wouldn't be here now, lying in a coma?
But my boy, you couldn't possibly have known.
Yeah, how could I have known? Fuller.
Sorry?
Fuller! She phoned the photo store. She wanted to speak to me, and Fuller just hung up on her.
Wait, no, that's completely...
She was conscious and wanted help, but Fuller...
Darren, get a grip. It was an accident. No one's to blame, and you should just...
Just what? Simply sit here at the bedside and hope that she gets better? I can't barely believe that.
Darren! You must...
Thanks for your help.
We'll look after your mother round the clock, Darren. You're welcome to stay here. I'll pop in again later.
I'm not gonna stay here. I still have things to sort out. That fat bastard's gonna pay for this. It seems to... She looks so weak. My mom always had a fighting spirit, and all this just because she tripped. Probably rushing around again, doing someone or other a favor. And then that stupid cupboard. Oh, and Fuller. If he even... I'm gonna squeeze him dry for this.
The mirror. Don't go through the mirror.
Mom? Mom, are you awake? Did I just imagine that? No, I couldn't have. My wrist still hurts. She must have been terribly afraid of something. But what did she mean? Typical hospital chic. There's a little medicine bottle lying here. Perhaps it belonged to the patient who was here before my mother. Laxativa. A powerful laxative. Sounds useful. A set of scales. Maybe for overweight patients? They certainly look a bit more solid than the ones you have in your bathroom at home. I'd better leave the scales here. What would I do with scales? The monitor shows my mother's vital signs. Pulse, breathing, etc. No idea if the values are positive. The monitor shows my... There's a stethoscope. Presumably someone from the clinic forgot it when washing their hands. Doc Newhouse has definitely still got his. I'll take it with me. They ought to be able to rustle up another one here. That doesn't belong to my mom. Maybe it's from the person who was in here before her. I guess I should have packed a case like that for my mother, too.
No, I can't tell you that. You can talk to her son if you like. He's just... There he is.
Hey! Hey! You! What the hell? Oh, crap. Now I've lost him. Hey, Rosie. Hard at work, I see.
What do you want?
The other package for Fuller. There must be photo paper in it.
Could well be.
Well, can I have it?
Sure. Note, please.
The collection note? Yes, I don't have one.
Then you'll have to ask your boss for it. Nothing goes out of here without a collection note. You got me?
Does Fuller often get packages delivered here?
Yeah, a few times a month.
Why doesn't he have the packages delivered to his store?
He does, but when he's not there, the mailman delivers them here and then Fuller picks them up for himself.
Do you know what was inside the package that I picked up a little while back?
How should I?
What can you tell me about Dr. Newhouse?
The Newhouses? Well, they came here a few years back. He was a big cheese in Boston. Miss Newhouse has brought a good bit of style to this little town. I know her. My girlfriend Betty is her best friend.
Really? She gossips as much, too?
We don't gossip, okay? You really want to know all this stuff?
Thanks.
Yeah.
A blank collection note for a package. If I fill it out, I could pick up a package from the tourist shop. Good.
filled it out. One package for Fuller at his address. I hope that does it. I've filled up the note so far. Maybe that'll be enough to get the package. Hey, Rosie. Hard at work, I see.
What do you want?
I wanted to pick up Fuller's package with the photo paper.
No, please. I can't accept that.
Why not?
It's not signed.
Fuller has to sign the note?
Stupid. The mailman, of course. Fuller should ask him tomorrow morning. He probably just forgot when he was posting the note through Fuller's door.
It's not possible for me to wait till tomorrow. Thanks.
Yeah.
Whoa, that can't be right. It's the guy from the hospital with Fuller. Who is that guy? And what's he got to do with Fuller? I ought to listen in. I can still give Fuller a talking to afterwards. Fuller's talking to that guy on the other side of that window. I can't understand anything, but if I'm not careful, they'll see me. The window is directly above the door. Perhaps I can somehow unhook the lock through the window. Damn, the door is locked. There's a little hook that's keeping the door locked. I've got to reach it somehow. The bar's too thick. I won't be able to work the iron bar between the door and the frame. What's more, I wouldn't want to damage the door. Reach the basement through the light well, but removing the grill would make too much noise. And apart from that, I'd never get up the creaky basement staircase quietly. I've got to find another way. Anything here. They're too far away. Not exactly a fishing rod, but maybe I can catch something else with it. I've tied the fishing line onto the bucket handle. That should work. I've just got to be really quiet.
If the handle hits against the door, they're both sure to hear it. Done it. And they didn't notice anything. The door is open again. I can go in. I just hope it doesn't squeak.
Yeah, Angelina. That might have been it. I wrote down the surname as well. For another $10, I might even remember where I put the note.
Not necessary. I know her surname. And your assistant, what about him?
What assist... Oh, you mean Darren? That's my errand boy. He works here in the semester holidays.
A good errand boy is worth a lot. What do you know about him?
Why are you interested in him? You want to poach him from me? No problemo. For $100, I'll even write his notice straight away. What the hell? We'll say 50.
Not interested. Do you know him well?
What's with all the questions? His mother came in and asked if he could work here for a few weeks. He's a pussy! One of the eternally afflicted. Oh, I feel so bad and the world is so unfair and it all makes no sense. Boo-hoo.
So you don't know him?
And I've got no
That was close. They're both heading for the exit and I'm none the wiser. Who is this guy following then? Me? Or Angelina? And why? I'm gonna ask Angelina about the man. She's British, and that guy's got a British accent. You never know, perhaps she knows him. But first, I've got unfinished business with Fuller. Hey, where's the big jellyfish? Huh. Looks like Fuller's taking the film out of the camera. But I wanted to give that fat bastard a piece of my mind first. Where the hell is he? A bottle of distilled water. I'll take that with me. An old, rather battered locker. Water and all sorts of other liquids have splashed on its door and left their mark. That's a photo enlarger. You put the developed film in the top and then lay a sheet of photo paper on the table below. The picture is projected onto the sheet and so exposes the paper at the same time. Basically, it's just a powerful lamp with a lens in front of it. A bit like a slide projector, or something similar. A small bottle of photographic fixer. There's not a lot left in there, but it ought to do for one more use, I think. The dish for the water bath. After the picture becomes visible in the developer bath, the development process is stopped in the water bath. The dish for the water bath. The undeveloped film is placed in this container. Then the developer fluid is added, and after a short while, the film is developed. I'd better leave it here. I can't do much with it outside the dark room anyway.
flat dish about A3 size. If you're making photo prints in it, you have to have diluted developer in it. A flat dish about A3. A completely normal waste bin. I'll make a note of that in case I want to throw anything away. A completely normal waste bin. What the hell? A secret door hidden behind the photo backdrops.
What the hell are you doing here, boy?
Keep your hands off, Fuller! Because of you, my mother's in a coma.
What have I got to do with your mother? Out! Out of my basement! Go on, get out of here!
You should have told me that she called. It was obvious that something was wrong. I swear I'm gonna...
You threatening me? You? Threatening me?
If she doesn't wake up, I am gonna...
Out! Get out of here already! You're fired! Out! Out! Out!
You better pray she doesn't die. That's the only thing that'll save your fat ass.
Get out of here! If I ever catch you here again, you'll end up next to your mother.
You're gonna regret this,
You'll
Fuller.
never do anything, you pussy! You haven't got the balls! You haven't got the guts! You got